Alright, good afternoon. You are welcome to today's class, today's tutorial from Eternity the Schoolboy. And today we are going to take a look at mathematics. And the topic we are going to treat today is variation. Variation. Have you heard of the term variation before? Huh? Izuchukwu, what comes to your mind whenever you hear the term variation? What comes to your mind? What is variation? From your own understanding. Not two things are equal. Don't use the vary there. Use something else to explain. You can't be explaining variation for me, and you are using vary there. So what comes to your mind whenever you hear the term variation? Proportional. Okay. Whenever you hear the term variation, what comes to your mind? Huh? What comes to your mind? No idea. You're enjoying the room. You don't want to invite others. Oh yeah, tell us. No idea. Wow. Okay. Okay. Now, variation has to do with the change. Variation has to do with the change of a particular quantity with respect to what? Another what? Quantity. Am I communicating? The change of a particular quantity with respect to what? Another what? Quantity. Sometimes the change may be an increase or it may be a decrease. Am I communicating? The change may be an increase or it may be a what? A decrease. So how a particular quantity changes with respect to another what? Quantity is called what? Variation. Let's assume now you want to buy. Let's assume you plan to buy 4 egg rolls. 4 egg rolls. I have in mind that you have in mind to buy 4, yes. 4. And what you have is what? 200 what? Naira, right? Now, you know, on getting to the shop where you buy the egg roll, you realize that egg roll is not 50 naira. That egg roll is what? 100 naira. But you want to use the 200 naira you have to buy egg roll. You really want to spend it in egg roll. So on getting there, how many egg roll do you think you buy? You end up buying 2. Now, have you now seen that because there's an increase in the price of the egg roll, the quantity of the egg roll you bought or you will buy, okay, you bought, let's assume you have already gone there already, and the quantity of egg roll you bought only 2. You bought only two what? Egg roll. Whereas the price of egg roll has increased to what? From 50 to what? 100. As the price of egg roll increased from 50 to 100, increase in price, it affected the quantity of egg roll you bought from 4 to what? 2. That means as the price of the egg roll increases, the quantity you buy is what? Decrease. So have you now seen what I mean by what? Variation. How this vary with respect to what? This. How the price, change in price affected the quantity of egg roll you end up what? Buying. So in this case now, you say that the quantity of egg roll is very proportional. The price of the egg roll is inversely proportional, because as the price increases, the quantity will what? Decrease. That means the price of egg roll is that inversely proportional to the quantity of egg roll you bought. So this is an example of variation, but it's an inverse what? Variation. Am I communicating? Good. Let me look for something else. Let's assume the amount of money you have is not your issue. You can buy as many quantity as you can. On getting there, let's assume you get there. You get one. You test on testing one egg roll. The egg roll. You notice that the egg roll is too what? That is delicious. Very, very delicious. Now, what do you think will happen to the quantity of egg roll you buy? Maybe you wanted to buy 2 egg roll. You tested one. And you have money. And there are people at home that can eat it. And you want to spend money. Will you just buy that one and go? 2 and go? You buy up to 10, right? Now, the test of the egg roll, the high test of egg roll led you to do what? Buy what? Higher what? Quantity. Am I communicating? If you categorize, if you rate, even though test cannot be quantified, it's something that cannot be quantified, but let's just put it on a scale of 1 to 10. Maybe it's delicious. You can score, okay, 9. It's 9. You forced to buy more egg roll. So the more delicious the taste of the what? Egg roll, the more egg roll you what? Buy. So the taste of the egg roll is either proportional to what? The quantity you buy. Am I communicating? Now, but you wanted to buy 20. On getting there, on testing the envelope, egg roll. This thing, I don't know how. Do you think you buy up to that 20? You may not even buy at all. This is what variation. I just use what you see on daily basis to describe what variation is what all about. Is it clear? Now, let's look at types of variation. We have this one I described about test and the quantity of egg roll. Which one do you think is what type of variation is that? Direct, right? So we have direct variation. Types of what? Variation. We have direct variation. We have inverse variation. We have joint variation, and we have partial what? Variation. We have direct variation, inverse variation, joint variation, and partial variation. We have direct variation, inverse variation, joint variation, and partial variation. Okay, let's continue. Now, let's take a look at direct what? Variation. Direct what? variation. I think I have already explained the variation, right? Let's assume we have two quantities. Maybe that's like price and the what? Price and what? Quantity, right? But let's call them X and Y. Are you together? Let's call them X and Y. If you have two quantities, X and what? X and what? Y. Such that as S increases, Y increases. And as S decreases, Y decreases. This is what? A direct what? Variation. So if you have two, under direct variation, you can write, if you have two quantities, such that, namely, if you have two quantities, namely X and Y, such that X increases, so that as S increases, Y does what? Also what? Increases. And as X decreases, Y also what? Decreases. This type of variation is known as what? Direct variation. Direct what? Variation. So you can, using X and Y to denote the two quantities, you can say that X, look at this, how you can represent this symbolically. The symbol for direct variation in the formula is that X is directly proportional to what? Y. This is direct what? Variation. That X is what? Directly proportional to what? Y. Now, this sign here, this is sign of proportionality. This sign of what? Proportionality. This sign of, this is not an equation. This is not an what? Equation. It's just a proportion. To make this an equation, what do we do? To change this proportional sign to equal sign, what do we do? What do you do? To change this is sign of proportionality is not equal to. To make it an equation, what do we do here? No. Is what do we do? No. This is not this is C sign of C equal sign here. This is what? Equal what? Sign. And this is what? Proportionality what? Sign. This is equal sign. And for there to be an equation, there must be what? Equal. Are we together? There must be equal sign for it to be an equation. If there is no equal sign, that is just an expression which can be a proportionality depending. Now, in this case now, for us to be able to do what? Change this thing to what? Equal sign. We introduce a constant. There must be a what? Constant. There must be a what? Constant. So we can, a constant can be anything, but the common constant we want to use is what? K. Are we together? So if you put a constant here, it becomes that X is equal to what? K, Y. Are we together? Are we together? Now, and you can find the value of this K constant, because in calculation you need to find the value of the constant. So this K will now becomes what? X over what? Y. Are we together? Are we together? Now this is what we call what? Direct what? Variation. This is what we call what? Direct what? Variation. Direct what? Variation. Direct what? Variation. Now let's solve a question under this direct variation. After we will now look at inverse what? Variation. Take down this question. Take down this question. If one packet of sugar costs X naira, if one packet of sugar costs X naira. If one packet of sugar costs X naira, what will be the cost of 20 packets? Sorry, our reference book for today is New General Mathematics for Senior Secondary Schools 1 by M.F. McRae et al. Alright, so I said, if one packet of sugar costs X naira, what will be the cost of 20 packets? The question is not complete too. There's some part you put there. I want you to put that. No, you just solve it. What's the answer? Solve it. What was the answer? Because sometimes you will not see. They will not tell you that it's directly proportional sometimes, but you can use your common sense to know that it should be what directly proportional. Haven't we discussed about the cost? Anyway, not everything that may be very proportional to the cost too. There are some other factors that may affect the quantity you need to buy. I think put at the end of that question that the cost of the see how we put the question. If one packet of sugar costs X naira, what will be the cost of 20 packets? Assuming that the cost varies directly proportional to the number of packets bought. Assuming that the cost varies directly proportional to the number of packets bought. Is it clear now? Is it okay now? Let's solve it. I give one minute to give me the answer. 1 minute. I give 1 minute to give me the answer. Proportional to the number of packets bought. Number of packets bought. You say how many? What's the question?
If one packet of sugar
you got it to what? What 1 over 20?
Okay.
Just a constant. Continue solving now. Have you gotten the quantity you're looking for? If you get the value of k, put it back to this equation now. If you get the value of k, you have already solved and got the value of k, right? If you get the value of k here, put it back to this equation. Then change this thing to the new cost. Then get the new what? The new quantity to buy. So put it get the new quantity. Then use it to get the price. Let's assume that x is the price. You can say, okay, let's x be the price and y be the what? Quantity. Anyone is okay. If x is the price and y is the quantity, you find k. When you are done, use the first quantity and first price to find k. When you are done, then put k back, put the value of k you got into the equation, and then use the new quantity and k to find the new price. It's simple. Is it clear? Just solve first. I will explain. I want someone to give me answer first. Then if I get the answer, if I get your own answer, then I will now solve that thing in your mind. Just solve it. After I will look at what you did before I solve it. Okay, now let me solve it. There are two ways you can solve it, but let me follow the simple way because of I've assessed your level of understanding of this. If I go by the second way, the second pattern, you may get lost. But it's okay. Let's solve it. Call the question again.
If one packet of sugar costs X naira,
Uh-huh.
what will be the cost of 20 packets? Assuming that the cost varies directly proportional to the number of
So, the cost S direct proportional to what?
Y.
Y. So let X be the what? Let X be what? The what? Cost, right? Y be what? Quantity, right? So if that is the case, that means S is equal to what? X what? X what? Naira, right? Y is what?
20.
What is start for the question again?
One.
Read the question again.
If one packet of sugar.
If so, how many packets of sugar cost 1 naira? Ezu. So here should be 1 what? 1 what? Is it clear? So X is X naira when Y is what? 1 packet. So we use these two things now. The number here now, S is directly proportional to what? Y. That implies that X is equal to what? K what? Y. Let's find K. K is equal to what? Izu? Huh? So K is equal to X over what? Y. We know X to be what? Still X, right? X is what? X. Then Y is what? 1. It's not true. It's not true. So this means that K is equal to what? X. True or false? True or false? K is equal to X naira. So we go back to this equation. Did they give us the second price cost?
No.
Did they give us the second quantity, which is what?
20.
Huh? 20. Now, when K is what? X. So whenever we see K in this equation, we put what? X. Am I communicating? Whenever we see K in this equation, we put what? X. But instead of this thing confusing us, let's use this. Let's use another alphabet here, so that X will not confuse us with this X. Let's call this first one Z. Okay? It mustn't be X because there's already X in naira. Let's use something else. Let's call this in what? Z. Okay? So here Z is equal to what? KY. That means here let Z be what? Cost and Y is. So Z is what? X naira. So here from here now, K is equal to what? Z over what? Y, right? Z is what? X naira. When Y is what? 1 packet. Are we together? From there now, we now got that K is equal to what? Y. K is equal to X naira. Just say that K is equal to what? X. But there will be change. Actually, K should be what? X naira per packet. That's the actual what? Actual what? Unit of K. K is what? X Nigerian naira. This is Nigerian what? Naira per what? Packet. Because here is what? And here is what? Nigerian naira. Are we together? This thing and this are the same thing. If you want to use Nigerian naira, you should come after X. If you want to use naira, same way, it will come before what? X. So let me just say X what? Nigerian what? Naira. Are we together? Are we together? Now, so we now got that K is equal to X Nigerian naira per what? Packet. So whenever we see K, we put X Nigerian naira per what? Packet. Are we together? Now, we cannot come here and say, let's substitute K. Let's substitute X Nigerian naira per packet for K in this first equation. Are we together? Are we together? This is K. We have found K. We use K now to substitute the value of K here. We put this value of K here and put it here. Do you know Charles' law? Do you know Boyle's law? Why are you confused? Is Charles' law not a direct variation? Or did you cram the formula? Is a derivative of variation now? Or is it because I'm not using x1, x2, z1, z2? Should I use that one? It's same thing. Don't worry, after solving with this one, I'll solve with that one. But listen to what I'm saying. Here, this is K, is X Nigerian Naira per what? Packet. This is K, this is not the cost you're looking for. How do you now find the cost? There is a change. There is new quantity now given to you. How will you find the new cost? You go back to the equation and substitute what? This, put K, whenever you see K, you put what? This value. There's a new cost, a new quantity you are giving. You put that quantity here to find the new what? Cost. Is it clear now? Is it clear now? Are you sure it's clear now? Is what is your issue? Let me understand your issue. Let me understand your issue. What is where I have any issues on this thing that we have been talking about since? Let me understand. If you just say where you are having issues. Just tell me, Fifi, tell me where you're having issues so I can address it. Ezu? Tell me now. All of them. From the beginning. Wow. But did you understand what I said that Z is the direct proportional to Y? Let me even see what you solve. Open your. Let me see what you solve. Now, do you understand what I say that Z is the direct proportional to Y? Do you understand this one? If you remove this sign, you need to put equal to and put constant. Do you understand it? Good. Now, Z is what? The cost. And Y is what? K is what? Is a constant. You must find this constant first. If you find this constant, you now put it back to this equation. Use it. Sometimes they may ask you what is the new, remember we define variation as change in a quantity with respect to change in another quantity. This is the first value you are given, but they change the quantity by telling you what is the product of 20 packets. Didn't it change from 1 packet to 20 packets? It's a change. So you need to find the new price, the new cost. This is the first, you use the first cost and first quantity to find K. Put that thing you got in K as K back to the equation. Now use that we also put the new quantity before you can now get the new price, the new cost. What you are looking for is the new cost, right? Now let's go back to this equation. Remember that the equation of the variation is what? Z is equal to what? Is what? Z is equal to what? KY. There is a new quantity which is what? Which is what? 20 packets. The new price, we don't know which is Z. We don't know, right? Right? The constant is the same thing. Whether the price is changing or not changing, the constant is what? The same. So constant is what? S what? S Nigerian what? Naira per what? This is X, this is K. It's constant. That's why it's constant. Does constant change? That's why it's what? Constant. What is the new quantity? New quantity is what? Izu. New quantity is what? They ask you what will be the, ask again that 1 packet cost to get it. S naira. What will be the cost of 20 packets? So the quantity have changed now. So what will be the change in price because of change in what? Quantity. That's what they're asking you. Is it clear? So the quantity is what? 20 what? packets. So we put this here now to this equation. We know we don't know the new price, new cost. That's what they're looking for. We know the constant, which does not change. But we also know the new what? Quantity. We use it to find the new what? Price. So the new cost is now equal to what? K, which is what? S what? Nigerian naira, right? Per what? Packet. Times the new quantity is what? 20 what? Packets. Packet to do what? Cancel packets. S Nigerian naira times 20. We have 20 what? X. So the new cost is what? 20x what? Nigerian naira. Is it clear? Is it clear now? Are you sure? Are you sure? Then put down. After we solve another one, I want to be sure that you understand this. All right. Any confusion in this last question we solved? Now let's solve another question. The question says, if C is directly proportional to N, if C is directly proportional to N, and C is 5 when N is 20, and C is 5 when N is 20, find the formula connecting C and N. Find the formula connecting C and N. I give you 1 minute to solve this question. 1 minute. He said he got 4. Put your own. You are doing your own. You are solving individual. After we know who got it. Put your own. But the most important is that whatever value or you got for K, switch it back. Put it back in that equation. That's the formula. That will give you the formula that connects C and N. It seems I've solved this thing myself. Now look up. Look up. Call the question. Again, call the question. So to what?
To N.
So C is what? Direct proportional to what? N.
And C is 5.
C is what?
5. N is 20.
When
N is 20.
when N is what? 20.
Find the formula connecting C and N.
No, look up. C is directly proportional to what? N. If you want to remove this sign of proportionality, you do what? Put equal to and what? Constant. So that means C is equal to what? Kn. When C is 5, N is 20. So we substitute 5 here. We put 5 here and put 20, the three of us. So that means 5 is equal to what? K times what? Times what? 20. To find K, divide both sides by what? 20. If you're not following, please let me know, okay? That means K is now equal to what? 5 over what? 20, which is what? 0. What? 25, right? 1 over 4. It can be 1 over 4, it can be 0.24. Anyone is okay. 1 over what? 4. Let me use 1 over 4. You can use 1 over 4, you can use 0.25, there's no problem. But it will depend on the nature of the question. 0.25 over what? 1 over 4. Are we together? So K is 0.25 over 1 over 4. If you want to determine the formula connecting C and N, you put this value of K back to this equation. You now have something like this, that C is equal to, what is K? 0. What? Times what? N. Alright. Remember, this is the equation 1 we are talking about, right? So that means C is equal to what? 0.25 what? N. If you use 1 over 4, you get that C is equal to what? N over what? 4. This is the equation connecting C and N. That is the equation connecting C and N. Do you know the implication? Whatever value of C they give you, let's assume now, look up, let's assume now they say find N when C is 20. It's simple. Just put 20 here. N becomes what? If they say find N when C is 20, what are you going to do? Simple. Put 20 here, right? N becomes what? 5. How? C is equal to N over 4. You are told that C is 20. Find N. N is what? It's 8 now. You can multiply now. 80. 20 here times 4 is what? 80. Is it clear? Let's assume that you are told that to find, listen carefully. Look up, please. Let's assume you are told to find N when C is 20. No, find C when N is 20. What is C when N is 20? It's 20. How do you get 5? Huh? You substitute 20 for N. Just put 20 here and divide it by 4. You get what? 5. Have you seen that this is the formula that connects what? C and what? N. Is it clear? Good. Take down this question. Number 1. Take down these questions. I'll give you 10 minutes to solve them. Oh yeah. Number 1 says, if x varies directly as y raised to the power 3. If x varies directly as y raised to the power 3 and x is 2 when y is 1 and x is 2 when y is 1, find x when y is 5. Number 2. If x varies directly as square root of n, if x varies directly as square root of n and x is 9 when n is 9 and x is 9 when n is 9, comma, find x when n is 17 over 19 over 9. Sorry. Find x when n is 17 over 9. Number 3. The length of a simple pendulum. The length L, capital letter, the length L, that L should be in capital letter. The length L of a simple pendulum varies directly as the square of its period t. Varies directly as the square of its period t. Then full stop. If a pendulum with period 4 seconds, if a pendulum with period 4 seconds is 64 cm long, if a pendulum with period 4 seconds is 64 cm long, comma, find the length of a pendulum whose period is 9 seconds. Find the length of a pendulum whose period is 9 seconds. Number 4. W, capital letter, W is directly proportional to L squared. W, all in capital letter. W and L should be in capital letter. W is directly proportional to L squared. And W is 6. When L is 4. And W is 6 when L is 4. If L is root 17, if L is root 17, find W. Number 5. If x minus 3, if x minus 3 is directly proportional, if x minus 3 is directly proportional to the square of y, if x minus 3 is directly proportional to the square of y, and x is 5 when y is 2, and x is 5 when y is 2. Please, if I call something you do not hear clearly, don't write what you don't know. Just let me know, please. Find x when y is 6. Find x when y is 6. Find x when y is 6. Number 6. Number 6. W, capital letter, is directly proportional to U, capital letter, full stop. W, capital letter, is directly proportional to U, full stop. If W is 5 when U is 3. If W is 5 when U is 3, comma, find U when W is 2/7. Find U when W is 2/7. Number 7. If y varies directly, if y varies directly as the square root of x and y, if y varies directly as the square root of x, if y varies directly as the square root of x, and y is 3 when x is 16, and y is 3 when x is 16. Full stop. Calculate y when x is 64. Calculate y when x is 64. Number 8. If x varies directly as square root of y, if x varies directly as square root of y, and x is 81, and s is 81 when y is 9, and x is
81.
let me start afresh. Number 8, if x varies directly as square root of 9 and x is 81 when y is 9, comma, find x when y is one whole number 7/9. Find x when y is one whole number 7/9. Number 9. If y, I'm coming, hold on. Hold on, let me check something. Okay, let's continue. If y varies directly as square root of n, root n, as root n, and y is 4 when n is 4, and y is 4 when n is 4, find y when n is one whole number 7/9. Find y when n is one whole number 7/9. Number 10. Y varies directly as w squared. Y varies directly as w squared. When y is 8, w is 2. When y is 8, w is 2. Find y when w is 3. Find y when w is 3. So this is assignment I want you to look at. Not looking at. Okay, I should repeat the last one. Okay, I said y varies directly as w squared. Y varies directly as w squared. That is w raised to the power 2. Full stop. When y is 8, w is 2. Comma. Find y when w is 3. So this is your take-home assignment. Want you to solve it. Please do my assignments. Do my assignment, please. Next time we have mathematics, make sure you solve it. Research and solve this question. If you want you to open the topic again, this is how to solve. If you are given assignments, let me give you an idea. If you are given assignments, go to that topic. Read that topic again. Read what you are taught in class. Read that topic again. Then see examples of what they gave in the topic. Then use it to solve the one you're given assignments. This is how to solve assignments. Solve it in detail in your notes. Next time we have mathematics. Here, not at the other center. Here, that I'll give you some time to solve these questions here in this lesson. So it is not issue of this. I'll call you, stand there and solve. solve for us what you did. That's how we do it. So please take it seriously, okay? All right. So I want us to observe like 30 minutes break. Rest. If you want to eat, you eat. If you want to rest, you rest. If you want to read, you read. Anything you want to do. Once it's 2 p.m., you come back for chemistry. Once it's 2 p.m., you come back for what? Chemistry. All right.